So there is this guy called MTR.
There's nothing but beef here in these black YouTube streets as of late, and it's all over a vacation. My guy, Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews, aka MTR, just went on a vacation to Thailand. But man, that trip got everybody really dissecting some of the framework that he came back with.
All right, first off, I want to say, we got a lot to talk about, but first I want to say shout out to my dog, Oshay Duke Jackson, man. I've known Oshay for a long time. Oshay knows where I come from. Oshay knows where I stand. And Oshay knows that I always will push the game. I was before YouTube. I've been doing this for over 35 years. So shout out to Oshay Duke Jackson on the message that he sent. And the reason why I'm doing this video is because I felt like there were some things that he left out. And with all due respect, it's, again, he's got to tell you things, but he can't tell you everything because a lot of young men don't see what I'm about to talk about and discuss. But before I even talk about and discuss all that, I do want to make sure I say this first, and I will keep on saying this. As dating coaches, and I can speak for all dating coaches, there are no dating coaches that are threatened by any young man that goes to another country or another planet. I just want to make that certain. The thing that dating coaches have a problem with is when a lot of these young men out here try to indoctrinate these young boys into thinking that their solution to all of their mental problems are going overseas. That's where the disconnect is. I'm glad that a lot of young men get to travel. I think you should travel. I think you should go overseas. But the issue that a lot of people will not even address, red pill, manosphere, and nobody will address, is the elephant in the room. Leave the children alone. Leave these young men alone. Just because you cannot talk to women, just because you are not good with women, just because you don't know how to communicate to women, that for you to sit there and tell women what you're saying. Now, I want you guys to see a clip of this video, which is really why my thumbnail the way it is. Because listen, by no means, this is not an attack on Oshay. It's not even an attack on MTR, because I'm even going to bring up alpha male strategies. We are enemies, and I'm going to bring him up as well, because he said some real ass shit. A lot of stuff to talk about. But I want you guys to take a moment, and I want you young men to all just clear your thoughts, and I want you to watch this clip right here. Check this out. Watch this. Watch.
Being in there reminded me as to why I'm in so much love with this place right now, and it is the niceness of the people, the genuineness of the people. I wish I could have showed you like the behavior of like the waitress, right? Just so comforting, so humble, you know, so present, so feminine. Like she's like this big, tiny little lady, and so like overly accommodating.
Cut it. I can't do no more. I can't do no more. This is driving me crazy. Gentlemen, I want you to understand the title of that video, to understand why dating coaches do what we do. This young man, the coach is, the title is called Men Feel Seen in Thailand. I want y'all to think about that for a second. Men feel seen in Thailand. Now, before, and again, this is where the problem comes in. You have somebody that is terrible with women. You have someone who can't talk to women, who can't communicate, who cannot make her smile, cannot turn her on, cannot make her blush, doesn't know how to communicate. And I listen, I'm not talking about you young men, because we'll get to y'all young men in a second. I'm talking about this individual right here. Doesn't know anything about women. And when he's around a woman, you already seen what happened when he was in Jamaica. But in order for you to understand where I'm about to come from, because what happens when you're seen in America? But we're not going to talk about being seen in Thailand, and I'm going to show you again. What happens when a person with no game, no mouthpiece, nothing is seen in America? Watch this.
They requested, are you going to kiss me or no? That's just all we want to know. Is it a no? Is it a no? Is it a no? Like, we don't want, I don't want the extra. We just want to get straight to the chase. Is it a no? You'd rather drink than kiss me. Is that what you're telling me?
So you want to be seen. You want women to show you interest. You want women to show you affection. You want women to try to give you some kind of physical affection. Yes, in America, that which you saw wasn't in Thailand. It wasn't in Jamaica. It was in the United States. So when that individual was seen, what did he do? He looked away like a girl, scared like a deer in headlights. I got the man gone, 20, joking around, because guys, what you understand about people that are dating coaches, we can recognize not only femininity in that young man, but we can also recognize that that young man doesn't have any sense of self and no self-identity, to a point where he's going to another country. Got to bring up my dog, Coach Greg Adams. Coach Greg Adams was pissed yesterday, and he had every reason why. Because this guy who doesn't have any game, can't get women, shy, timid, and effeminate, okay, and soft, wants to come up with this free agent lifestyle theme that Greg Adams has. Now, gentlemen, I'm gonna shock y'all about MTR real quick, okay? He is a great travel agent or a vlogger. He should be the guy that says, hey, everybody, this is MTR. I'm walking around a third world country that is desolate, tore down and broken down, very poor. But this is a nice place to get a shake. This is a nice place to walk in the daytime. These are nice beaches. And if you are traveling to a country, these are affordable and economical places to go, because MTR doesn't have a free agent lifestyle, because you have to have game to have a free agent lifestyle. Shout out to Coach Greg Adams. Coach Greg Adams, as I told you, I know him very well. And I'm kind of tying all those things. We got a lot to talk about. But Coach Greg Adams, everybody, he has game. And Coach Greg Adams just doesn't travel. He also teaches young men things. I'm saying, again, no knock, but I want you guys to game it out and think about this. What is MTR going to teach a young man? And I would say this for the Passport Bros. Listen, I get it. They're saying travel. They're saying find a prostitute or someone to smash real quick. But where is the lesson of this is how you go up to a woman? This is how you communicate with a woman. This is how you flirt with a woman. This is how you turn a woman on. This is how you move things forward. And again, I don't want you to listen to me. I don't get mad at me. See MTR's videos with guys. You remember what do they call spirit fingers? What was that movie? There was a movie where they were talking about spirit fingers. Men don't do this. And if you watch his videos, and he was doing this to a guy. Men don't do the spirit fingers. But I'm not tearing them down. But I'm being honest with you guys. So again, I don't want y'all to feel like I'm all over the place. I'm trying to get a lot of things in because we got a lot to talk about. But this is not to tear down. Oshay did a great video, and I appreciate Oshay's video. Shout out to my dog. But I think the problem that a lot of people don't understand about dating coaches like myself, 1950, Lucario, Miles, Zag, Boss Mac, Dre, men that have game, Saint the Sinner, Coach Greg Adams. A lot of young men don't understand what game is about, which we'll talk about later. Where I can equivocally say that all those men I just talked about discuss, but we'll get to that last. But I want you to see what he's saying he's feeling seen, because most of you guys, because a waitress smiled at him, because people waved at him, he feels seen. And what I'm saying is that's part of an indoctrination that a lot of you guys have to be careful about. Let me get to AMS real quick. Now, AMS and we don't get along. If y'all know the story about AMS was following myself and Lucario in the beginning. AMS was popping into our message thing. We're not even going to talk about that. But I'm going to shock y'all. AMS, I have to give him credit. Because you know what AMS did? AMS said one of the realest things that passport guys will not accept. That if you travel to a foreign country 2 times a year, you just I'm not gonna say the word, you just a motherfucker. I was gonna say you just a motherfucker on vacation. He said the N-word, but he was right. And I'm not even gonna tell, I'm being, give it a buck. AMS is right. See, what a lot of people don't understand, a lot of young men are living paycheck to paycheck. I get it, young men. A lot of y'all live paycheck to paycheck. You can't afford to travel just to go get a piece of ass, because that's not where the problem is. And that's where the problem, where the Passport Brothers and dating coaches are always going to knock and butt heads. We're always going to butt heads, because it's one thing telling someone to travel somewhere and it's saying that, look, these are the sights, these are the sounds, this is how things are. But to sit there and tell a young man, not a child, a young man, that these American women or whatever are so bad that if you go to this place that they will make you feel like MTR said, or whatever his name was, said that he felt seen, man. As I said before, he should be a travel agent, okay? All right? And I appreciate what Oshay was saying. But we got to get into the game aspect of this, because I ask a lot, because a lot of young men, and the reason why I'm talking and trying to slow this down is because a lot of young men who have the ego and their hurt, their pain, their mother wounds from elementary school, junior high school, and high school, we've got to face what is in front of us to understand what's actually going on, and let's talk about it. See, the Passport Bros don't understand what dating coaches do. They don't understand the 1950s, the Lucarios, the Boss Macs, the Greg Adams, myself. They don't understand the Saint the Sinners, the Kerry K. Zagans. They don't understand the men and what we're actually doing. Because a lot of these people think we're just trying to sell you something or trying to get you to do something. But the one thing that Passport Bros, and with all Oshay, with all due respect, because he doesn't know, because Oshay, my dog, he admitted he likes tricking. Shout out to my dog. He will trick. That's my dog. He since I've known him in Poland, he loves tricking, man. That's my boy. So no disrespect. My boy is doing great things. That's my dog. But what I'm saying is I'm not going to talk about MTR and his sob stories, trying to make an emotional connection with you, getting you to feel sorry for him, talking about his pain and all this other stuff to make you feel like, oh my God, he's my savior, by telling me to travel across the world to feel seen. In the game, I've always said this, and I will continue to say this. I've said this when I was on 56K modem, when my internet was plugged into the wall, into the telephone, guys. I'm being honest with you. The game is never about women. It will never be about women. And a lot of the young men who are hurt right now are lashing out, and they're mad, and they're angry, and they're upset because they don't understand what game teaches you. It teaches you this thing called awareness. This again, I didn't say anything about women. I said awareness. Because a lot of young men are walking around angry at women, and they don't realize that the real war is happening inside their own mind. They think that women are the problem because it's easy to look and point the finger at something that you cannot do or not do. You choose not to want to learn. You choose to not want to learn. A lot of young men don't know how to communicate. A lot of young men don't know how to talk to women. They don't know how to express themselves to women. They don't know how to turn a woman on. They don't know how to flirt. Because a lot of young men, with all due respect, is cool. Because they don't know what awareness is. They don't have an idea what a standard is. They don't know how to communicate. But they were never taught how to express desire without sounding needy and desperate. When they meet women, all they know is to beat around the bush, walk on eggshells, lie, manipulate, deceive. But then they get frustrated when women are not giving them anything. But see, this is part of the game and a part of the lesson that the Passport Bros, MTR, and my dog Oshay, who loves to trick, my dog, will never explain what dating coaches actually teach. Because we teach you things. We're not here to tear a young man down. I don't want to fall in this thing. We teach you things. And what do I mean by teach you things? It's a lesson in this. Okay. One thing that dating coaches will teach you, if they're doing it right, number one, is that they will teach young men that you have to stop assuming, judging, and have an expectation. Because the individual that does that has already lost the game because he's putting too much value into the woman. That's just a little bit of lesson that a lot of young men will not ever understand because they don't understand the game. But I've always said to you guys out here, okay, what are these guys actually teaching you young men? Okay, and then let's talk about it. One thing I've always said, and one thing I've always stressed, and one thing you'll know about dating coaches, y'all might not like us, but we teach you things. But we don't make it about the women. We make it about yourself. We teach you how to handle rejection without turning into somebody that's bitter. You were never taught to actually sit with your own insecurities without blaming someone else for those insecurities. And when a woman decides, which she can, to be with somebody else, we just have to accept what it is. But again, it's hard to see what I'm saying when a lot of young men don't understand that the mind is actually running what's happening. And I'll show you an exercise. You get around a woman, your mind is going to tell you that women, you know, your fears and anxieties and shy and all that stuff will pop up, but the mind is the enemy. Dating coaches are not the enemy. And no one said don't travel. The problem is, gentlemen, is that as an adult, as an older man that has to teach these young men that we gotta leave the young men alone. Just because you travel because you can't get a woman, MTR, why would you sit there? See, this is what I would respect MTR if he did this. Hi, I'm MTR, and before I give you this traveling vlog, because that's all I can do, is I can't teach you anything about women. Before I give you my traveling vlog, I want to be honest with you. Yes, I was a guy that blindly went to Jamaica knowing real men don't do that. And yes, I was the same guy that was next to a woman that was giving me all kind of play. She was pushing up on me. She was trying to do something physical with me, and I got scared because I'm insecure, because I don't have the game. I don't know who I am. I don't know how to communicate myself, and I am very passive. I'm very soft, and I'm very effeminate. That's why I'm here, to walk you around this third world country, to show you where to go get a shake. If he said that, all respect, that's being honest. That's being honest. But what is he doing? He's trying to paint a narrative to say that because he chooses not to learn the game and he is fragile, scared, and effeminate, because he learns how to use words and phrases to hypnotize young boys and luring them to go to torn up countries. He's not teaching anything. Gentlemen, I've always said to all you young men out here, the ones that have the game, and I can say this for all those that have game, the people that have game and dating coaches, you want to know what separates them from everybody else? We always teach you something original. Teach you something original. I've always taught you land, sea, air, and space. I teach you how to set your crib up. I teach you how to talk to women, text to women. I teach you the different sides of you. I teach you how to be seductive. I teach you how to talk with sensual, romantic, being sexual, being smooth, kinky, dirty, nasty. I teach you about setting everything up in your house. I teach you how to communicate with women. I teach you a standard. I teach you awareness. I teach you those things. I teach you about sex-a-ween. Now, guys, if you don't know me, and if y'all are new here, I am the only one on the internet that not only creates the costume for you. Not only do I do that, every year I do this. What do? You could call into the show. I do all the work. I do 99% of the work. I show you how to set your costume up. I show you what to say to the woman. And I do all the work where you could call into my show live, and I will find the places to go to even meet the woman. What Passport Bro is doing that? Is MTR doing that? I want you guys to just listen. Push aside if you like me or you hate me, but I just want you to think. It's a thinking man's game. What has MTR taught you about the way to kiss a woman, the way to put your hand placement on her body, the way to text her, a way to turn her on, the way to give her butterflies, the way to make her wet, the way to make her want to be with you, reach out to you, talk to you, miss you, and think about you. Don't believe me? Ask yourself the question. Don't look at me. Ask yourself the question. Ask yourself the question. Because all the dating coaches I know can teach you that. MTR is teaching you places to go to. But when you get to that place, guys, I want you to think it through. The individual that leaves wherever you go, the mindset goes with you. So you are still going to a place with the same mindset. So what does that mean? Where is MTR telling you how to walk up to women, how to introduce yourself to women, how to get your point across with a woman, how to get her to your crib? Where is the conversation? See, a lot of y'all guys out here think that, I want to get mad, I want to get angry, I want to yell at MTR and all this other stuff. But this is how the indoctrination starts. A lot of y'all young men are still frustrated. Y'all are the same people. I told you we're in the middle of the year, 6 months wasted, and you're still the same person. But this is where the red pill and the manosphere traps you young men, okay? They don't meet you from a standpoint of strength. They meet you from a standpoint of femininity. They reach you from a standpoint of trying to tell you that you have to leave the planet to be around a woman to make you feel important. And that's what bothers us dating coaches, because they're setting you up for a downfall, okay? I know you are hurt with women. I know you're embarrassed with women. I know you're lonely. I know you're feeling rejected. And I know you're searching for answers. But the answer isn't packing up and going to another country or another planet because you're not getting your way where you're at. That's hurting young men. It's telling young men that you are not facing what needs to be faced. And what needs to be faced is the elephant in the room, okay? It makes these young men feel like women are the enemy, and women aren't the enemy. The enemy is the individual that is luring you into a place to go to get rid of all your pain and your frustration, and he's still not teach you anything. Look at any MTR video. What has he taught you? You tell me. Tell me one thing. One way to kiss her. One way to look at her. One way to undress her. One way to take her bra off. One way to stroke. One way to make her come. One way to turn her on. Tell me, when is he saying any of this? No, he's saying, wow, look at that shake over there. It's really good. See, the people here are really nice. These indigenous people are really nice. That's why you gotta go there. Look, oh, wow, they speak to you. They wave at you. Hi. That's a vlogger. Gentlemen, that's somebody vlogging a tourist spot to people to go visit, young men. He's not teaching you any. Gentlemen, listen to me. Teaching you. What is he teaching you? Because, again, I'm going to state again, there's nothing wrong, gentlemen, and I will push this. There is nothing wrong with you traveling. There is no dating coach out there that's going to tell you not to travel. They just want to make sure you're traveling because you want to go out and experience the country, not because you want to be seen by a goddamn woman. So you want to, guys, I want you to add it up. I want you, if he's in Atlanta and he flies to Thailand, I want you to add up the math. Do the math. Do the math of the traveling expenses to fly to another country just so a woman can see you. Listen, I want you to think it through, because I know right now your mind is saying, Steve, fuck you. You don't understand our plight. You don't understand MTR. He's all for us. He's got us covered. But if he has you covered, where is the responsible young man that is saying that, you know what, I know nothing about women, I know nothing about dating, so I can't steal Coach Greg Adams' thoughts of a lifestyle of a free agent? Because again, Greg Adams teaches you game while you're traveling. Saint the Sinner teaches you game while you're traveling. Lucario, myself, Fifth, Zag, Miles, Boss Mac, Dre teach you game while you're doing everything. What is MTR doing? And that's what Oshay is not talking about. They want to tell you to be soft. They want to tell you to be effeminate, and you expect a woman to follow femininity. They won't. I'm sorry. I wish you guys understood that, but they will not do that. Okay? A lot of you young guys are out there looking for truth. A lot of you young guys are lacking the experience. A lot of you guys are going through a lot of things that are frustrating you, and that is fine. I get the idea. I understand the frustration. I understand what you're going through. I get all of that, okay? I get all of that. But the thing I don't get, and the thing I don't understand with a lot of you guys out here, is that for many of you guys out here, you guys unfortunately take your loneliness to the wrong tribe. You take your anger and you try to turn that into an identity. And you're not just a hurt young man anymore, okay? You think that you're awake, but you're still sleeping, okay? And you don't see what these guys are actually doing to you. And see, this is how you get trapped by a lot of these guys out here, because see, the thing about dating coaches that PassportBros will not explain to you is that the real game does not make a man hate women. The game teaches him to understand himself. The game is not about pickup lines or memorizing things. The game is not about trying to sound smooth. It's not about anything. It's not trying to act unavailable and all this other stuff. The game is not about turning your heart into something you got a wet dress or I'm telling you guys, they got these young boys taking hammers and smashing their faces. It's sad. But what I'm saying to all you young men out here that most of you guys don't understand is what the game is going to do. The thing about the game is going to teach you to have a oneness with yourself, to have self-awareness, okay? Because see, what you don't understand that your mind right now, young man, I know your mind is saying to hate this motherfucker. Who does he think he is? And it's supposed to, because the mind doesn't want you to see the truth. And what the mind is going to do, because your mind is the greatest enemy. It is not me. It is not any of the dating coaches. The mind is your greatest enemy because it is the mind that is telling you to not look at the man in the mirror. Live your life like somebody else. Be somebody. And gentlemen, I'm going to teach you something real quick. You can never be like anybody else. You can only be the second best of that person. So why try to be like somebody else, especially someone who cannot talk to women, someone who cannot interact with women, someone that doesn't have any standards. They have no laws, rules, principles, narratives, or anything. Because if he had that, the moment Melly told him to go to Jamaica, he would said, okay, look, when I get to Jamaica, we gonna fuck. No. I want you to come to Jamaica as my friend. Girl, you got me fucked up. You think I'm going to go out to Jamaica and not fuck? But see, he didn't do that. He went to Jamaica and did all that bullshit you see him do. You watch the videos. He did all that tricking and still didn't smash. And then the other woman that he was with, he didn't know what to do. So guys, I'm just trying to show you guys out here that dating coaches are not the enemy. Dating coaches are not the enemy. But what happens, gentlemen, the mind is going to make you think that we all are the enemy because we're forcing you to look at yourself, not to take accountability, but to have a self-awareness in yourself, to have an understanding of who you are to yourself and why you do the things that you do. Because everything you're doing is from the wounds that you have carried when you were young in high school or junior high. But see, Passport Brothers can't teach you that. MTR definitely can't teach you that. So what they do is, because I can't teach you how to be a man, to think like a man and operate like a man, I'm going to do something that the cult will do. Cults do this. Go and run away from your identity. Run away because I'm not being seen in Atlanta, because I'm weak, soft, and passive, which Oshay didn't say, it's all good, that I'm going to tell you to be, listen to me, I want you, it's a thinking man's game. I got to go to another country to feel seen? Gentlemen, the self-aware man that learns the game understands what an open loop is. He knows that every interaction with a woman is going to actually reveal, something about him. But he doesn't know that. He can't teach you that. He can't teach you how to text a woman. He can't teach you to tap into her emotions. He can't teach you the levels of a woman. He can't teach you trust, emotional trust, and sexual trust. They can't teach you that. But they don't, because they can't teach you that, what they want to do is they want to teach you something else. Run away from your identity. Run away from your fingerprint. Guys, I've always told you, I'm never trying to teach you to be me. 1950, the fellas, Coach Greg Adams, Saint to say, I'm just laying coaches out, Lucario. None of us teach you to be us. We are all trying to teach you the uniqueness of who you are as a man. And if you feel like what we're saying, to love yourself, to appreciate yourself, to understand yourself, and not tolerate bullshit, then this is not the right place for you. Travel the world. It doesn't fucking matter. You still are the same person you were from wherever you left. And that's what he's not going to tell you that. Okay? I get that you feel angry. I get it, man. But that's information that they use against you. A person telling you I feel seen in Thailand, knowing you see a video, him next to a woman that's seeing him, that's dead on his ass, that's giving him play. She's doing everything that all of you guys ever wanted a woman to do in under a minute. And what is he doing? Man, don't do it. Man, don't do it, 20. Man, don't do it, 20. And then has a nerve to travel and then tell you guys, hey guys, a waitress who is supposed to be nice to get tips is kind to me, smiling at me. Look at the locals smiling at me. You need to travel here so you can feel seen. Gentlemen, you gotta be careful. Guys, okay, remember guys, when we were young, when we told our parents, if somebody came to us and said, I lost my kitty cat, can you help me find him? And there's a van full of candy inside, you would scream, stranger danger. You have got to, I've always said, don't believe me or any dating coaches. You have got to have enough self-awareness, sir. This is the key to this. Self-awareness to ask the question. Ask the question. What is he teaching me about myself that I can utilize to tap into my identity, except running from who I am and traveling to another planet because the fucking Earth women are terrible. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I know a lot of y'all guys get mad, angry, and bitter at us, but I'm trying to tell you that, man. This is why the game is so important, because self-awareness comes before conversation. The way you think about yourself comes before your behavior. But see, he can't tell you that because he's not gamed up. Effeminate, emotional guys are always going to find an excuse to look at everybody else for all their problems. And again, I'm not being mean. I'm being honest. I'm just asking you, because guys, you know, y'all have done it several times. Y'all call into the show, challenge me live. If a woman says this, I give you the answers like that. That's game. I teach you ways, again, to cook. I teach you ways to talk to women, teach you ways to flirt, teach you ways to introduce. I teach you all that stuff. I give you a free PDF file to show you all that. Show you all that. Teach you things. What? Now I'm asking you this question. What is MTR teaching you? And if he's just walking around saying, look at that building, look at that shop, look at the people, that's a travel agency. That's not free agent. That's not a free agent lifestyle. Shout out to Coach Greg Adams. A free agent lifestyle is a man that travels, but he's got the game to know how to communicate with women in any interaction without feeling shy, insecure. There's no fear. There's no rejection or passive. And that's what a lot of young men don't understand, okay? Most of you guys are upset right now. And most of you guys want to lash out. And I understand you want to lash out. And that's why I'm taking the time to take this long video. Because what I'm saying is that a man that learns the game, he doesn't chase control. He doesn't chase women. He builds an identity. That is something MTR cannot teach you because he has no identity. If he had an identity, he would have told Melly, if you ain't giving up no ass, I ain't coming. And matter of fact, if you want me to come down there, pay half my ticket. Game right there. Oh no, I'm gonna go. Look at me swimming, backstroking, hanging out with her. Oh yeah, but I'm at the airport. Yeah, man, I smashed. Yeah. Wait, hey, MTR. I don't understand. Why are you saying that you smashed? We didn't. Well, come on, girl. I didn't know. I didn't know. And then you got the same girl. Kiss me. Kiss me. You rather hold that drink than kiss me? Wait. I gotta grab a hat. I wish I had. Wait, you still have a hat? I wish I had a hat on. I wish I'd grab a hat how he had that shit. All cockeyed. Mad Dog 2020. Mad Dog 2020. And then that MF has got the nerve not to travel. I'm not knocking him on the traveling. But to tell young men that he feels seen in a country because a waitress is smiling at him and talking to him. Fuck, come on, man. I don't mean to go long, man, but I had to reply back to Oshay's great video. I appreciate the video that Oshay put out. But again, if anybody wants to react to this, that's fine. But here's the $1 million question. What are you teaching these young men that is exclusively yours? That means that nobody has ever heard of it before. I've got several of them. I can say the Halloween game. I've got several things that I teach. Everybody that has game teaches several things. But that's the $1 million question that you young men have to ask yourself. Gentlemen, you have to be more self-aware and you have to be careful. Just because someone has a high amount of clicks doesn't mean they're clicked up in this game. A lot of these young men out there are really doing a lot of harm to you young men. Because, gentlemen, you have to unthink before I wrap this up. Remember, guys, I've come from a time, gentlemen, where I know young men like you because the seduction community did the exact same thing. And these young men right now who used to be your age right now, they're having midlife crises. They're depressed. They're suicidal. Some of them are offing themselves off and things like that. And I don't take that as funny or a joke. My whole thing is I just don't want that to happen to you young men out here. Guys, you don't have to listen to me. That's fine. My job is to only give information for those that want to learn how to see the world in a new set of eyes. Because MTR doesn't even understand realities. He doesn't understand. I get it. Y'all are in an indoctrinated reality that y'all take in information without questioning the person giving you the information. But when you have the game, you should question. Question the person that is doing that. You should do that. Okay, ask the question. Okay, who is the person? What is he teaching me? Is he teaching me things that nobody else is teaching me? And can I go up to him at any time, any moment, and ask him a question about women, dating, sex, talking, texting, or anything, and he will come up with an answer like that? That's when you know the real ones, gentlemen. I didn't mean to go too long in this video, but it was very important that I have this conversation with you guys out here. Guys, you have a lot on the ball. Listen, please travel. I never say don't travel. I think it's great that you can travel. But what I would rather you do right now as you are going into this new world, I'd rather you take your money and save it and start investing 401s, mutual funds, nest eggs, stocks, bonds, 401k and things like that. Because I know right now y'all are young, you're not thinking about tomorrow, but dating coaches do these things. This is what dating coaches do. They sit back and they make sure, go have all the fun you want, but spend wisely. Don't just waste your money, save your money, invest your money, because you don't know what's around that corner. Remember, guys, last thing I want to say is that right now, most of you guys who are 18, you're going to blink and you're going to be 23. You'll blink again, you'll be in your 30s. You blink, you'll be in your 40s. And a lot of guys will say, what have I done with my life? Who am I to myself? I wanted to have a family, but someone told me not to on the internet, so I didn't. And I feel like I'm missing out on something. Guys, I'm not here to tell you to get married. I'm not here to tell you not to get married. I'm not here to tell you to go and travel. I'm not here to tell you not to travel. I want you, if you're going to travel, travel because you want to take a vacation. Travel because you want to take a break. But don't travel because someone tells you in order for you to be seen, you got to leave your fucking country to go somewhere else for some foreigner to smile at you. You have to be careful about who you listen to. I appreciate Oshay for the video that he did. Oshay is kicking it. Appreciate that. Shout out to Coach Greg Adams and the free agent lifestyle gentlemen. Please, before you listen to MTR's bullshit, watch Greg Adams and see what the real free agent lifestyle is about. Shout out to the guys, Real Game No Theory, Saint the Center, and men that, you know what, hey, that teach you the game to teach you a oneness with yourself, a connection. And I know, and I'm just telling you right now, the mind is the enemy. And until you recognize or have the awareness to realize that you are being duped by your thoughts, then what I'm saying is never going to come across. I will always be seeing the enemy. But always remember this last thing, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And if you can see that and see that, we are all dating coaches are here to help you. Travel the world, but ask yourself the $1 million question. What Passport Bro or MTR has ever taught you about communicating who you are to everybody, no matter where you're at? The motherfucker should be a travel agent guy, running around just talking about the buildings, talking about places to drink and things like that. He's not telling you how to go up to women. He's not telling you how to communicate with women. He's not telling you how to make a woman smile, laugh, blush, think, react, and get turned on without you having to spend money. Just game it out, gentlemen. That's all I'm saying. Guys, I apologize it went so long, but gentlemen, I do this for you. I put out information. We put out as much information as possible to show you what the game is about. And if you want to be here, be here. And if you still want to go there and you want to get on a red pill and you want to not jerk off and hammer your face and do all those things, I can't stop you. I just ask you, please get help. Find a therapist or find somebody that can actually talk to you, because there is greatness in you. That motherfucker can't teach it. Guys, I'm sorry. We went too long, man. I'll talk to y'all later. But again, thank you, Oshay, for the video. I just had to reply to it, and I appreciate you, man. Peace.